In this lesson we're going to take a look at a few more complicated order of operations examples. Let's begin with the one on the left here. So again, we have this big division bar which says do everything on top and everything on bottom before dividing. So on top we have subtraction and we have exponents, and we know that exponents are definitely going to come first. And notice we have a minus here, so that just comes right down, and we're squaring only the 6. So 6 squared is 36. And on bottom here, we also have an exponent, so that'll be the first thing we do there. And so that's 2 cubed, right? So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again would be 8. And we, as always with order of operations problems, rewrite everything that you did not change. Now on top we have to subtract, and so what I would suggest here is that we turn this subtraction problem into an addition problem, which we can do by changing it to 4 plus negative 36. And on the bottom here, I have some multiplication to do because I have subtraction, I have multiplication. I know multiplication comes first. So what I'm going to do here is say this is 8 minus, and so when I'm looking at the multiplication, understand I'm just zeroing in on the 2 times negative 4. Don't try to let that subtraction symbol sneak in there and make you think it's a negative 2. I think the best way to do it is just to call that what it is, a subtraction sign, and then take 2 times negative 4. There are ways you can get away with thinking of it like a negative, but at these beginning stages of us learning integers, I think this is the best way to do it. So 2 times negative 4 is going to give us a negative 8. So since it's a negative 8, we'll put that in parentheses. Now up top, we've got 4 plus negative 36. We know that when we have a positive plus a negative, we've got to subtract. So over here on the side, we'll take 36 minus 4 is 32. But of course, we get a negative 32. Sorry, I should be putting equal signs going down here. And then for 8 minus negative 8, we understand that we need to turn that to an addition problem, which we can do by cross the line, change the sign. And so what we end up with there is 8 plus 8 on the bottom. So we've got negative 32 over 16, and 32 divided by 16 is 2. I started to write 2 outside there because I knew the answer ahead of time. So 32 divided by 16 is 2. But of course the answer is negative 2 because it's a negative divided by a positive. In this next example here, got quite a bit going on as well. So we look here and we decide what's happening first. Well, I've got parentheses in this case, so that's going to have to come first before I worry about this exponent out here. So we're going to rewrite everything else. Negative 9 minus 12 divided by 3 times 4 plus, and to effectively subtract these, I know that the best thing to do is to turn this subtraction into addition. Now what you might find is that you get really comfortable subtracting numbers, and at some point maybe you don't need to turn this into plus the opposite. And if you get to that point, that's fine. Just be honest with yourself. If you're still sometimes getting subtraction problems wrong, please continue to do this process. And so we have 5 plus negative 12 squared. And then rewriting everything else. I know this part's a pain, but I promise it'll pay dividends. Rewrite everything. 5 plus negative 12. Well, 12 minus 5 is 7, and so this is going to be a negative 7 in parentheses there, and we still have that square. So we took care of the parentheses. Now we can take care of exponents. Rewriting everything else. Excuse me, that was supposed to be divided by 3, wasn't it? So negative 12 divided by 3 times 4. Plus, now notice the negative is in parentheses with the 7, so this is literally negative 7 times negative 7, so we should get 49. Now what we look at is, okay, we've taken care of parentheses, we've taken care of exponents. Now it's time for multiplication and division. Now remember, multiplication and division are tied in terms of importance. So we decide which one comes first by going left to right. And so I'm going to do my division next because it's on the left of the multiplication. So negative 9 minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Still have the times 4 plus 49. And now we take care of the multiplication. Negative 9 minus 4 times 4 is 16 plus 49. And then we need to take negative 9 minus 16. Again, make sure we're doing this correctly. I will change this to plus the opposite. So we have negative 9 plus negative 16 plus 49. Negative 9 plus negative 16, I'm just going to add 16 and 9. And that's going to give me 25, but of course it's negative 25 plus 49. And then finally, we subtract 25 from 49 and end up with positive 24. One more example. I know this is a long video, but I think you'll appreciate having a few of these complicated problems done for you. So now let's take a look at this one. We got some absolute value involved. Remember that absolute value is like parentheses. So you have to do everything inside that absolute value before anything else. So our attention is first drawn to the 8 minus 7 squared. And we've got subtraction, we've got exponents. So clearly the first thing to do inside of that absolute value is to square the 7. So 7 squared is 49. And then we'll rewrite everything else. Alright, and then once again we're subtracting, so I would suggest adding the opposite here. And so we end up with 8 plus negative 49 minus negative 5 times negative 6 minus 3. Now 8 plus negative 49, those signs are different. I'm going to do my scratch work down here. 49 minus 8 is 41. But since the negative's with the bigger absolute value, negative wins, so we've got negative 41 minus all that same stuff. Continuing to rewrite everything I don't change. Now finally we can take the absolute value. So the absolute value of negative 41 is 41. So that absolute value took a while to take care of. Now let's focus on the rest of it. So I've got subtraction, multiplication, subtraction. Multiplication definitely comes first. So I'm going to multiply these two numbers. So I have 41 minus 30, because negative 5 times negative 6 is positive 30, and then this minus came down from the last step, and then minus 3. Now the nice thing here is, yes, this is subtraction, but please, if you have a larger positive number minus a smaller positive number, don't do the plus the opposite thing, because this is just familiar subtraction, 41 minus 30. So we get 11 minus 3, and then finally 11 minus 3 is 8.